Good morning, children. I welcome you back in the online lectures. And last year we had completed lecture number 1 and lecture number 2 of chapter number 8, the framing of the Constitution and its salient features. Last week we had seen about what is Constitution, what is preamble, who were the Constitution framers, how did they frame, how much time they took, and the main things related to the Constitution. Today we are going to study further about the Constitution and its main aspects. So without wasting time, let us go further. Today we are going to study about the main features of the Constitution. Okay, what are the main things that makes our Constitution separate from the Constitution of other countries? The first and the foremost thing that we are going to see is India, a union of the state. Now this is a very important word here, union. Now why this word is important? Okay, because union means the combination of all. Now when something is a union, no part of it can separate itself, and that's why India is considered a union of the state. Say, union of the state means all the state have got together and formed a unit, formed a entity which cannot be separated. So no state of India can separate itself from our country, and that's why union of the state is used. You might have heard this particular word called USA. Okay, USA stands for United States of America. Now all the states have got together here and formed a country, but still all of those states have their separate constitutions, have their separate laws and rules and regulations related to it, and that is not the case in India. India is a unit. India is a union of the state, and that's why the word union is very important. Say, the word union is referred for the relation of the state. Relation of the state means all the states are part of India, and no state can secede itself, no state can separate itself from India. By the use of the word union, a permanent and irreversible means which cannot be reversed, which cannot be uh, taken back. A relation between union and the state means union is always higher than the state, and state are part of the union. They cannot separate themselves from the union. This is more important. No state can secede from it. See, no state can secede from it. No state can separate itself from the union, and that's why India is considered a powerful nation which has all the states working together for the development of the country, for the betterment of the country, and for the progress of the country. You might be knowing, and you already know, we have already studied into the previous standard, that there are basically three type of government working into the our country: the central government, the state government, and the local government bodies. So all these government bodies are in ascending order, means there is local, then above the local there is states, and above the states there is the central government. Central government is considered the most powerful, and same way the Union of India means the country is more powerful than any of the state. See, India has two sets of government, okay, the union and the state government, and under the state comes the local government. Under the state comes the local government. So we can consider that union and state. Now you can understand this diagram I have put here, that tells you that union, see, it is a bigger circle and state comes under it. So states are a part of union, they are a part of union, but they cannot be separated, they cannot be moving out, they cannot be pulled out of the union. They are part and parcel of the union. The constitution marked areas of both the functioning. See, the constitution have marked the areas where the state will work, where the union will work. That is being already marked and mentioned into the constitution of India, and this helps for the states and the union to work in a very smooth manner. Now just imagine if the work and the functioning is not properly marked up, then what will happen? The state might make certain rules that might collide with the rules made by the union, and due to that there will always be a tussle, there will always be a problem between both of them. But due to the clear marking in the constitution, due to the clear mentioning into the constitution, this mess up, this this problem is not created into our country. The constitution demarks the power. See, it denotes the power, it shows the power, that certain powers they have actually divided it, bifurcated it, and due to that what is happening is that both the state and the union knows their own powers. Okay, now in Indian Federation, you might know, as I've already told you, that state and union both work together. They don't work as competitors to each other, but they worked as complementary to each other. They worked together to make the nation more powerful. See, the constitution demarks the powers of the center in different lists. There are basically three lists in which the constitution has demarcated the power of center and the state government to make the working and the governance easier. There are basically three lists: union list, state list, and the concurrent list. Okay, union list, let us revise this, you need to remember: union list, state list, and the concurrent. Now these are basically list of laws, list of subjects on which the laws can be framed. There are certain rules that can only be framed by the union. There are certain laws which state can frame, that are, the power is given to the state, while there are certain subjects on which both the state and the union will frame the laws, and that's why this is important. Now I have put this particular into a pyramid. You might see it is into a pyramid. Why it is into pyramid? Because union list is at the highest, is it highest, the considered as most important. Below that comes the state list, and below is the concurrent list. Now the union list: subjects of national importance like defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy. Okay, you need to remember: defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, banking, railway, communication, post and telegram, all are included into union list. Means government, the central government make rules and regulations related to this all subjects. It takes decisions related to this, like defense. Okay, whom to consider a war with, whom to have a friendship treaty with. Then foreign affairs. Okay, which countries we will support, which countries will offend. All those decisions are taken by the union. Atomic relation, energy, banking, anything related to banking is also considered by union. Railways, see, railways, you might know about the budget, in that railway is having a great share of it. Then communication, okay, the license related to the users and all other things, post and telegram. So all these subjects are such kind of subjects on which the union list takes decision. There are total 97 subjects. See how much? 97. This needs to be remembered. Central government can pass laws on this topic. Central government can pass laws on this 97 subjects, and on these 97 subjects central government will pass laws, and the state government have to listen to that laws. Okay, they have to listen to this laws. State list: subjects like police, local government, trade, and commerce. See which subjects are included into state list. The second is state list, local, say police, first of all police, very important. Okay, the police of that particular state will work as per the directions given by the state. Second is the local government. Okay, local government, as I already told you, I had already mentioned you, if you remember, here say the local government will come under the state, right? So the local government, so rules related local government are also formulated by the state. Then the trade and commerce of that particular state is also decided by the state. Rules and regulation related to the trade, okay, and related to the taxes, the revenues and other are decisions are taken by the state. Then agriculture is also important. Agriculture of that state is also a topic on which the state decides the subjects. Okay, total 66 subjects are included in it. How many subjects are there? 66. In previous union list, how many subjects were there? 97 subjects were there. While in state list, how many subjects are there? 66 subjects are there. You need to remember, and that's why I put say symbols so that you can easily see them. So 66 into state list and 97 into union list. Now you can see this, the subjects into union list are more in comparison to the the state. Now why it is so? Now remember the pyramid we had already seen. Into that, the list which was at the top was the union list. So union list has more subjects in comparison to the state list. So in total 66 subjects are there on which the state can formulate laws, and they are applicable into that particular state only. The third list is concurrent list. The third is the concurrent list. Now concurrent list includes subjects that are common. Say, as I told you, it comes at the bottom of that pyramid. If you remember, it comes at the bottom of that pyramid, right? Here you can see it comes at the bottom of the pyramid. So it can, for this is common. Now there are certain subjects on which even the union will form the laws, and on the state will also formulate the laws. Okay, so this that kind of laws or that kind of list of laws is known as concurrent list. Now both can formulate laws on it. See, both here means state and the union, both can formulate, state and the union both can formulate laws. Okay, center prevails more power, but here, as I already told you, center has more powers in comparison to the state. Center has more powers in comparison to the state. This needs to be remembered. This needs to be remembered, that center is more powerful in comparison to the state, and that's why there are 47 subjects which are there. How many subjects are there? 47 subjects are there which are included into the concurrent list. Okay, now which subjects are included in it? Criminal cases, civil cases, marriage and divorce, problems related to marriage and divorce, education policies, eco planning, trade and union, this economics. Okay, they all are included into this list, and both the union and the state can formulate laws on this. Now when we say that center has more power, what does it mean actually? It means that it means that the center, whenever a law comes into a clash, like suppose, just imagine center have formed a law and a state have also formed a law. Now whenever there is a clash between those laws, then the law of the center will be implicated. Okay, it will be more powerful, it will be implemented rather than the state law, and that's why center is considered more powerful in comparison to the state. Next comes residuary power. Now residuary power, you have already told there are only three. Now, what is residual powers? Now, there are certain subjects which are not mentioned into any of the list, like union list, state list, or concurrent. No subjects which are not mentioned in any of the list are included into the residual powers. Now, why residual powers are needed? Okay, now residual powers are needed because our constitution was framed almost 70 years back. Okay, at that time the conditions were very different. The conditions were very different at that time, but right now the conditions have changed, and due to that, certain topics, certain issues have come up which were not present even at that time. Like, suppose, just imagine cybercrime was not existing when the constitution was framed. So any law, example, this is just an example, so any law related to cybercrime will be formed under the residual powers. Now, who will form the laws related to it? Then Parliament is given the power to legislate on residual powers. Who forms the laws? Then the Parliament will form the laws. Here the Parliament is more powerful. Okay. So the subjects which are not included in union state are included into residual powers, right? The financial distribution resources is done between union state and the government. Okay, all the three are being done, and due to this, the distribution of the power is easier in comparison to the state and the union list.